How hard is it to build an e-bike from an online bike company? Riders, welcome back to Sounds Bikes, where we talk e-bikes and only e-bikes. And on this episode, we are going to build an e-bike from scratch out of the box that has been ordered from an online bike company. I thought this would be an interesting video to go along in my ultimate buyer's guide for buying your first e-bike. And I know there's a lot of people that get worried about buying a bike online and then having to build it. I'm actually going to pull some archived footage from a couple of weeks ago when I was testing the Max Power from Commensal. Riders, if you're interested in looking at the full review, click up here. Amazing bike, had so much fun. So let's go back to the future and on the day that I was unboxing this bike.
A lot of people on the channel ask, it's probably one of the most popular questions, is how difficult is it to set an online bike up from scratch? How does it come? Is it difficult to do? Look, riders, I am not a mechanic. I'm not a very good mechanic at all. I like to ride, I'm a reasonable rider, but when it comes to mechanical things, not so good. And I'm going to tell you it's not very difficult, and I'm going to talk you guys through how to do it. So what we're going to need, we're going to need an Allen key. There's a 12mm. We're going to need another Allen key set. You're going to need a Stanley knife or some type of Swiss Army knife, and another, I've got a couple of knives here. Shock pump, a little bit of grease, and a track pump. I reckon it's going to take me 25 minutes. Look, I hope I can do it in 25 minutes, but I'm pretty sure I can. Anyway, wish me luck and let's get to it. So first of all, it's looking very nice. Okay, first of all, to come out is the front wheel. I meant to say that I've got a bike stand here. It's not a requirement, but it does make things easier, and you can buy them pretty cheap for about 50 euros, so it's probably worth getting one. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready? Looks like it's coming out. Oh. Oh. So the Max Power in all its glory. Beautiful paint job, beautiful bike. Alright, let's get it up in the stand. Let's just start cutting off some of this plastic. Okay, so now let's look at the handlebars. Look, I'm sure there's a 100% correct way to do this. I'm just sort of following my nose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten this stem up, more or less. I'm going to take these bolts out. This is a 5mm. And look, riders, I'm not the best mechanic out there at all. So if I can do this, you guys can definitely do it as well. So don't be scared of buying a bike in a box. It's really not that difficult. And as you can see, it's not like an IKEA flat pack. It comes very well set up. These handlebars just slide out here. Oh, very clever, Commensal. It didn't mention with the tools you might need a torque wrench. I mean, there's nothing carbon on here. Just remember, don't over torque your handlebars. They take about 6 newton-meters, something like that. So don't over torque that. Now, what else do we have here? This looks like a battery. Okay, so this is the 500 watt battery. Looks like it goes in very easily. You need to click it in to the bottom and slide it across the top tube. It's very easy. What do we have in here? I would imagine this is the charger. It does come with pedals, so you don't need to buy your own pedals. and they look alright. They look like a composite. They could be metal. They actually look quite good. Alright, we're ready to take it off now. Let's put some air in the tyres. They come with, these look like 2.8s, they're big old tyres. I'm going to put about 40 psi, maybe 45 psi to start with, just so that if the tyre hasn't completely bedded onto the rim, it does do that. And then once you've done that, like maybe leave it like that for 2 hours, 3 hours, and when you go on your first ride, set the tyre pressure that you normally like. Look, I normally ride 26, 24, 25 at the front, 28 in the back. But if you're doing city riding, like maybe 30, 35 would be good on this bike. Now we need to put in the cables into the Shimano odometer. It's pretty simple, it's click straight in. Okay, now we're going to put this Sam Hill pedals on. I mean, I love these pedals. These are some new ones for me this year. And they're kind of almost matching in colour. Love that. Now riders, just chuck a little bit of grease on that axle, just so, you know, in the future you can get them off. And you're going to need a reasonably large, I think this is like a 12 Allen key to get that in. So look at this beast. I'm so excited to ride it. And riders, it took 27 minutes to set up. Look, and I'm not the best mechanic, ask my friends, I'm not. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. And just remember, once you set everything up, just go over everything again to make sure you torqued it properly. And also, I didn't set up the forks. I have put a little bit of air in the forks. There is a guide to tell you, I mean, how much you weigh and how much air you should put in the forks. But I personally like to do that out when I'm riding. So I normally take a set of Allen keys and my shock pump, and I set the bike up after riding it for an hour or two. I find it easier to set it up while I'm riding it.
So riders, as you can see, it's not very hard to build an e-bike from a box. It took me 27 minutes and I'm not the greatest mechanic. So I'm pretty sure anyone with basic tools can do it. If you would like to watch how to decide to buy online or traditional bike shop, click here. Or my best value e-bikes for 2020, click here. Riders, thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot. And if you haven't subscribed or share the channel, it really means a lot. And stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week.